Miss Nana Meidugo. She's the head Sustainability and ESG NSIA. Ms. Nana Meidugo is the head of Sustainability and ESG at the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, where she's responsible for developing and driving NSIA's sustainability strategy and climate initiatives, as well as implementation of NSIA's ESG framework across the authority, its investments, and its partnerships. Nana has extensive experience in infrastructure investment, particularly in originating, executing, and managing strategic and impactful investments in the agriculture and motorway sector. Her expertise spans various areas, including strategy development, program design, and project management for both private and public sector entities. She has been involved in the delivery and implementation of key national initiatives and development of national policies. Nana has antecedent at KPMG, a professional service firm where she worked in management consulting. She holds a bachelor's degree in computer systems engineering from the University of Kent and a master's degree in oil and gas management from the University of Dundee. So one more time, a round of applause for Miss Nana Meidugo.
I give it up for the woman. She'll protect you like a child. That's a woman.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Hi, hope everyone is doing well today. Awesome. So I've spoken in front of quite a number of people, in terms of number or size, as well as in terms of dignitaries. But then I haven't been this nervous, though I'm standing in front of students. This is my first time addressing students. I'm quite nervous, but I'm sure we'll have a good time with my short presentation. So I put a couple of slides together, and I would like us to do an icebreaker, okay? So can everyone see the screen? Awesome. So the name of this game is Name the Shiro, right? So like a hero, but a shiro. And I'm going to show you pictures of notable women, globally. And I want you all to tell me whose picture is on the screen. Do we get the game? All right. So does anyone know who that is? No Googling. Okay, that's fine. Does that anyone? Any volunteers? If you know who it is, you can stand up.
Ruth Gaither Gainsbourg.
Awesome. She got that right. Okay, this next one is pretty easy. I expect everyone to know who this is.
Hillary Clinton.
Awesome. Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton.
Awesome. You can face the students.
Hillary Clinton.
Awesome. She got that right. Does anyone know who this is?
Malala Yousafzai.
Awesome. You girls are making me proud. That's good. Okay, does anyone know who this is? Anyone?
Dora Akunili.
Awesome.
I need a boy now. I need a boy. I need a boy. A boy.
Can we have a boy? A boy, please.
Any takes?
Oh yes, Nathan is here.
Beyonce.
Yes, of course, Beyonce.
Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala.
Awesome. And then last but not the least, anyone? Should I give you guys a hint? So she played a key role in setting up one of the top tech companies in the world.
Melinda Gates.
Awesome, Melinda Gates. So clap for yourselves. I'm quite happy. Well done. So this was just to break the ice and to get you guys involved. So I have a short presentation on the theme of this year's International Women's Day, which is investing in women. So just looking at it and trying to understand, what does it mean to even invest in a woman, right? Or to even invest. Now this is my field. I'm an investment person. So this is something that I do every day. And to just break it down in simple terms, I noted 3 things here. First of all, to sow. Secondly, to allocate resources. And thirdly, to empower. So when you sow a seed, right? When farmers sow a seed, or when you sow a seed, you don't sow it because you just want it to stay on the ground. You want it to grow. You want to be able to harvest something later on. You want to be able to reap something later on, right? When you allocate resources to something, there's a reason as to why you're allocating those resources. If you're putting in money to build a house, it's because you want to own a house. Or if you take out money to buy even a pair of shoes, it's because you want to own a pair of shoes. So you're allocating resources because you want a desired outcome from the allocation of those resources, right? And then thirdly, empower. You're putting in work into something because you want it to be better. You want it to achieve a desired outcome. So in simple terms, that's basically what it means to invest in something and to invest in women. It's basically to sow the right seeds, to allocate the right resources, and to empower women to be able to achieve the goals that they desire to achieve, for themselves, individual goals, as well as societal and national goals. You might say, why is it important? Why is this year's theme to invest in women? How does this accelerate progress in any way? Now, there's so many benefits in empowering women, but I noted 4 key ones. First is economic growth. Okay. First is economic growth. So when you're talking about economic growth, a key driver or an important factor to drive an economy is to ensure maximum participation from the people within that economy. So if you want an economy to grow, the key participants within that economy can't be only men. Women and youth as well have to be involved. So by investing in women, you're able to achieve economic growth. And there are facts and numbers to back this up. Second thing I noted is poverty reduction. Now, when you look at poverty, women are disproportionately affected by poverty. So it only makes sense that if you want to alleviate people out of poverty, then you need to invest. A key thing to do would be to invest in women. Because when you invest in a woman, you're not only lifting that woman out of poverty, you're lifting that family out of poverty. A third thing I noted is social justice. There's increased, fights for human rights around the world. But then we know that there is discrimination and segregation when it comes to women. So there's no way we can achieve social justice and fight for human rights without investing in women. And the last thing I noted is sustained development. If we want to generate sustained economic development, if we want to build resilient communities that are well equipped to tackle global challenges, then we have to invest in women. So what are the ways? It sounds very, technical, investing in women, but it's quite simple, and I noted 3 things. The first is education, the second is economic empowerment, and the third is healthcare. And if you can see my triangle between these 3 circles, there's a triangle there that interconnects all 3, and that is gender equality, because it is the crux of these 3 factors, and it is a thing that has stopped us from achieving women empowerment across these 3 areas, gender equality. And I'll get to that. So talking about empowering women through education, you might think everyone goes to school, right? I mean, you have quite a number of girls and boys, a good blend of girls and boys in here. But then the World Bank says that women aged 25 and above are less likely to have completed tertiary education when compared to men. And when you look at this part of the world, particularly, Africa or, low-income economies, that is the case. When there is an issue, or let's say when a family faces economic hardship, one of the first ways or costs that is being cut is school. And most likely, if the first child is a girl, then she has to drop out and stay at home. So when you look at it within our society and even globally within the context of, global education, women tend to not have the same level of access to education as men. So in order for us to invest in women, it's imperative that women have access to education, because when you're educated, you're able to actively participate in an economy. You're able to participate in economic activities, you're able to participate in social activities, and you're able to participate in political activities. Second thing I've noted is economic empowerment of women. The statistics here says that about 36% of global businesses are owned by women, but then in terms of access to credit, it's only 4 to 6%. So even when women own businesses, it's way more difficult for a woman to access funding or financing, so whether it's from a person or a financial institution, than men. Do you know there are some parts of, there's some states in Nigeria where a woman is not allowed to, a woman's name cannot be on a deed or on a title of a land. So if a woman owns a land, she can't have her name on the deed, and she can't use that as collateral to raise a loan. Why is that so? By the mere fact of her being a woman. These are some of the factors that hinder access to finance. And even when women have the money to go into businesses, there's that general, there's that underlying cultural norm that excludes women from economic activities, maybe because people believe, or culturally or traditionally in Africa, it is believed that a woman's place is in a home. So generally, you see minimal participation of women in economic activities, even though women participating in those economic activities would help not just the family, but the community at large. So it's imperative to empower women through economic empowerment and giving them the tools that they need, whether it's training, vocational training, whether it's access to financing, or whether it's mentoring, for them to be able to carry out economic activities like their male peers. And the third is healthcare. This is a statistic by UNICEF that 800 women die every day, due to maternal deaths. And what are some of these factors that hinder women being able to access good healthcare? Some of it is lack of education, because when a woman is enlightened, she knows what she needs from a healthcare provider. She knows what to demand for in terms of healthcare services. But a lot of women don't have access to these healthcare services. Again, the underlying crux of this is gender inequality. So in order for us to invest in women, it's imperative to be able to drive and improve access to healthcare for women. Now, the crux of this, which I've been mentioning over and over again, is gender equality. If you look at it, again, not just globally, but particularly in Africa, there's always that bias towards women, maybe just by the nature of them being women. The first speaker spoke about her going to school and making up and wearing her pink dress and everyone thinking, who is this? That was my experience as well in school. And I studied computer systems engineering, and there were only 3 girls in my class in university. 2 of them were Asian, so generally you expect Asians to study such courses. So I was like the quote-unquote odd one out, right? And just like her as well, I love dressing up. I love looking nice. And I would go to class and everyone would think, who is this person looking unserious? But then the thing with stereotypes or gender stereotypes is you can't force people to change whatever preconceptions that they've made about you due to your gender. So what you do is show them that they are wrong. And that was exactly what I did. By my 3rd year of university, which was the final year of university, people in my classmates, when we were preparing for our final year exams, my classmates were coming to my flat to teach them, to go through exam papers with them, to teach them difficult things, to break down, all the coding that, everyone thought I couldn't do, or I didn't look serious enough to be able to do. They came to my house and we went through all those things together. And at the end of the day, when we graduated, I was the best graduating student in my university. But then again, I did face that, the gender stereotypes, up until date, to be honest. At times when I go to places, by the nature of, again, maybe I look too dressy to know something, I don't know, or maybe because I look young, and I still face those, gender stereotypes up until date. Whether it's from men or even at times, the funny thing is some of these stereotypes are from women as well. You don't look a certain way, so you probably don't bring anything to the table. Those misconceptions or those preconceived notions are sometimes made by not just men, but also women. So today I want to charge you, both the boys and the girls, to break gender stereotypes. It is our responsibility to break gender stereotypes. And it doesn't mean doing something big or doing something grand. It could be in little things, just even in your houses, in your homes. When you finish eating, boys, don't wait for your sister to clear the table, or don't leave your sister to do the dishes. You're done eating, you clean up after yourself. Your mom needs help in the kitchen, you offer to help her. Who says only a woman should be in the kitchen? Or who says only a woman should cook? Or who says only a woman should clean? The same thing with women as well. You don't look at your fellow woman and judge her based on, what you think, or how she speaks, or how she looks, or because you think, a smart person should look a certain way. So breaking those biases and those inequalities begins with us. And it's not a grand thing, it's something it's a role that you can play in your day-to-day lives. So here, I just highlighted, a couple of notes. I wanted to talk a bit about what my organization does in terms of investing in women. Right, so the NSIA, we are a federation-owned investment institution. So if you think of an investor, your investment manager, where you as a person, you want to grow your money, you meet an investment manager, give them the money, and they invest in different things that generate returns for you. So that is basically what we do, but we do that for Nigeria. And the whole point is for us to build a savings base for future generations of Nigerians, you guys, and other future generations, in the eventual depletion of oil and gas resources, because we're not going to have energy resources forever. So what we're doing is building that savings base for the country to fall back on in case of us running out of these natural resources that we've been blessed with. Now, in terms of investing in women, we do that through 3 ways. The first one is within the institution. When you come to our organization, you would see that a lot of the units are led by women. And this is not just because we want gender balance. These are women that are competent and are up to the task. A lot of units are led by women. When you check our executive management, there is female representation. And even up to our board level, there is female representation. Now, apart from within the investment, within the institution, we invest, right? And a lot of our projects, or a lot of infrastructure projects that we have invested in, have benefited women. And I've noted a couple of them. We have a project where we distributed energy efficient cook stoves to women in rural communities. Now, when you go to rural communities, what you see is a lot of them use wood to cook. And apart from the environmental effects of cutting down trees and emitting carbon emissions from cooking, it also has the health effects, right? Because you have all this smoke that is entering these women's eyes, their hands get strong and injured from cooking with firewood. So what we're doing is distributing energy efficient cook stoves to these women so that they're able to cook. These cook stoves, they don't emit carbon. So they're able to cook outside their houses, they're able to cook in their rooms, and they're not exposed to smoke, harmful smoke, and all these harm that causes, diseases from normal cooking. This is an initiative that we did, and we're distributing it to over 1 million women across the country, in rural communities particularly, to improve their livelihoods and to improve, their health as well. We have investments in an agricultural business where what we do is we extend financing to farmers. We extend inputs, so things like seeds, fertilizers, and pesticides, just to support their farming. And a huge number of those farmers, about 50% of those farmers that we have supported across 14 states in Nigeria, are women. We have initiatives where we extend financing to micro, small, and medium enterprises. So these are small, businesses within the country. And 40% of those that have received those financing are women. So as an organization as well, we play our role in ensuring that our investment activities also supports women, because on a normal day, women don't get these benefits and are excluded from some of these initiatives. And then through partnerships, advocacy, and just being part of policy development that drives and supports women. So to conclude, I have noted a couple of quotes from a couple of famous people. And I'll read out a couple of them that I like. So the first is, women belong in all places where decisions are being made. This is by Ruth Ginsburg. Another is, empowering women isn't just the right thing to do, it's the smart thing to do. So this was said by Barack Obama and Christine Lagarde. And this one I really like. It's by a Ghanaian man, Dr. James Agri. It says, if you educate a man, you educate an individual. But if you educate a woman, you educate a nation. And then I noted the last one there. I'm going to say it, and I want you guys to all echo who said this quote. Who runs the world? And who said this quote? So thank you all for listening.
She'll put a smile